Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for coming. Ini bahasa Indonesia atau bahasa Inggris? Both. Oh, English, Pak. Okay. So thank you for coming today in this afternoon, and I know some of the faces in here, but some are new. But actually, I said thank you so much. And today I'm going to present my research, my PhD research about in English language teaching, and it's entitled Integrated Story-Based Grammar Learning Model, the Effectivity and the Student Perception on its Implementation in a Grammar Classroom. For those who haven't know or we haven't met, I'm Ismailita, visiting scholar to Leeds University, hitting the campus, and I come from State University of Jakarta. I think PhD there, and then lecturer at University of Bengkulu. Bengkulu is probably some of Bengkulu. Here we go. I should put the arrow because sometime in Indonesia, even Indonesian don't know where is Bengkulu. So put it there, like I'm from that land, and I take my study in here and going like for a while to Leeds in UK. I'm so lucky. And this is the context of the research. It is the ESP is meant in this education study program, University of Bengkulu, and this study program produced the future teachers of English. So they will graduate, and then after that they will have to take like 1 year training for right now, PPG they call it, and then after that they will be able to be a teacher. And then the context is in the classroom structure 1, that part of speech, and then actually in this study program they have English grammar or course named structure 1 to 3. So my research is on structure 1, and it's on second semester. There are like students like 17 to 19 years old. And in this study program, in my experience in teaching grammar and also from the preliminary research, I found out that the students tend to think that grammar is difficult, and also it's a kind of boring subject. It's sometimes they call it like mathematics, not really popular according to if we compare to speaking skill or other language like reading or something or writing. And then why grammar? Well, as I said before, in this education study program, it's also happened in Indonesia that in EFL context, especially Indonesia, they have the same opinion that grammar is difficult and considered difficult to be learned. It's based on the finding of Adnan and Marjono. It was quote from Widyati and Cahyono in 2005. It's quite old, but it's quite deep research. And then the research shows that the students have problems with numbers, with the use of preposition, article, and tenses, and subject and verb agreement, determinants, and also tenses and sign. And the one who said that grammar is difficult and boring, this is said by Tika, one of them. She said that grammar is a killer like math, an interesting and frustrating subject. And at the context of the university itself, like in the English education study program, the students tend to find grammar course boring, and that's important. This is it. The finding that I get from my previous and need analysis. The teacher, based on the observation and also based on the interview with the lecturer, based on the observation, I found out that the teacher teaching the grammar with, they come with a grammar book, fundamental English grammar, for example, and then they teach the formula just like the old school ways. They teach the grammar with the formula, and then they give the example, and then they practice the rules. So, and the other one, this conventional approach, and this is a teacher center, not a learner center learning. So the focus is more to teacher rather than to the students. And then it was use limited source book, Actually, there are a lot of source book in grammar, but some teacher don't want to really changing from the way they being taught, and then they will teach the same way. I think probably that is one of the way, based on the interview with one of the teachers said, I'm happy by teaching this way, by using this book, and also rarely use learning media such as stories, or even, especially in grammar classroom, they don't even use LCD projector or a laptop speaker. It's like for grammar, but for other classes they are there. And then the other one, the reasons, grammar is important because, like stated by Wilkins, without grammar, little can be conveyed, but without vocabulary, nothing can be conveyed. But so it's this Nasajian photos and Nan telling us that grammar is important, essential to the teaching and the learning of English. So, based on that condition, and I propose a model. I developed a model based on Donato and Adeho 2002, and I put some more modification, adaptation, or you can call it modification to the. I developed the model, and I use the Indonesian legends. Usually, at high school or senior high school, the teacher tend to use like the text, like the stories like Cinderella, or other text is not from our local. So why not, through this grammar, by using stories, I use the stories from our province, and I take 10 stories from Indonesia, from all over the major island in Indonesia, so like Sumatra till Papua. So 10 stories for this model, and then here we go. So 10 of them, in the form of written text, or in the form or video and written text. And then why stories and legends? Sulaimani and Kamdan 2013 said that the stories provide students with opportunities to listen to a language in context rather than a bit or pieces. So it's really how language is really used. And then also Wandrip 2003 mentioned that stories appeal as highly naturalistic means of teaching. And then so this one is supporting the use of stories or legends in teaching and learning classroom. And then, therefore, from based on the previous research I did in the first year, not in the first year of my study, but this research had been 2 years. So the first year, I developed the model based on the need analysis, and it was based on PACE model proposed by Adeho and Donato 2002. But it was adapted to be used in Indonesian context. I add some more additional to the model, and then also this one is for the learning of English grammar. For mastering the knowledge, they need to have the knowledge, and also they need to be able to use it in communication. So not only know it, but not applicable in the, they cannot use it. And then this is it. Oh, this one is not the device one. Oh yeah. So it starts from story selection. It was based on Tomlinson. Tomlinson said it's like text collection, but I changed into stories collection, but still the credit goes to him. And then this is the Hope and Donato's presentation. So PACE model, attention, co-construction, extension. This model, actually, there is a deductive approach of teaching language, but also inductive approach of teaching language. It means like it's a combination of major approach in teaching English grammar, and then there is also some more weekly assignment, 2 type of them, and then this one, the blue one, that is SR means student respond, teachers feedback. So at every step there will be like student respond, teachers feedback. And this, alright, get back to this. So I'll give you a handout on how to do that, to apply that in the classroom. So probably one I just copy like 10 of them. Alright. It's really okay. So, in here, on how to apply the Asbm model in the classroom, take the stories from Bengkulu, of course, one for example, because I came from Bengkulu, even though I'm originally from West Sumatra. And so, it can be seen, you can read it for a while. Yeah.
What's the difference?
This one is the answer for this.
Ah, yeah.
So they need to find out the pronouns and which one is the pronoun. Yeah, pronouns. The simplest ones pronouns. Like the second after noun. Actually, part of speech consists of noun, verb, adjective, adverb, article, preposition, and that is the basic in English, in learning English. Basic. You can say it's like a house. They have like the bone of it. So if you know noun, if you know verb, if you know until the preposition, one sentence actually consists of that words. All right. All right. So, going to how to apply. So you can see here at first for the presentation step, or you can say phase. So this is the example. Like in here, the student watching the video, the stories Bang Merah Bang Putih, but in a form of video. The other one is in the form of a text. The student can be voluntarily read the text for the other students to avoid boredom in the classroom. If the teachers always read it every week, another story every week, so it's gonna be boring. So I use videos and I use the student to write to read the text, and or sometimes the teachers to read the text. And yes. Oh yeah. Wait. So, in this, the first step in this presentation, the student is not holding this text. They don't have any text. They have student books with a box on that student book that they need to fill in. For example, I mentioned the sentence here. She knew she could not say no to other brother. So, which one do you think is the pronoun? So they catch it. They may be not having a lot of them. They will maybe have a little bit of a mistake on an error, but after that, the teacher will talk about it. So there will be students respond, teachers feedback is there after that one step. And then we go to the next step, the co-construction. No, not co-construction, attention. So after that, the presentation phase, they go to attention. In here, the students are giving the handout. Just like today, you have the handout, and then you have to find out or underline or highlight the pronoun in the story, and then put it in the student books. And then in this step, 2 steps, they still work with individually, not with, but individually. And then the teacher asks the student on the adverb, for example, that's the adverb class they have found in the stories. And then they will discuss which are the adverb and what are they, how many they can find out. And then this one, the third step or the first phase is co-construction. This one takes longer than presentation and attention, because in this context they need to work in a group, like 4 of them or 3 of them in a group, and then they need to find out the rules, to find out what is the type of the adverb, for example, or noun or pronouns, and then where is the position, and what is the characteristic of the noun, for example, or the verb, for example. So they find out, and from that a discussion, they will also provide, after this they will present the result of when the group, so the group work, they will present the work, and then the teacher will give response, or the other student will give response. So they got conclusion, oh, this is it, noun, this is the type of it, this is the form, and this is how to form it into another type of noun or another type of word classes. So, and then it's still in here. In this co-construction, the teachers also went around the classroom. They help the students, so there will be like question and answer between the student. If the student find out some difficulties in comprehending the grammar rules, so they can ask the teacher, or they can discuss with among them. But if they cannot solve the problem, they can ask the teacher. And then the example of one group members brought the result of their group discussion to be presented to other students in the classroom. And extension. So after they got it, they understand, we discuss what is that word class is, then they need to, in the next step, they need to use that, for example, a noun or pronoun, or that pronoun, they need to use it in a conversation. So this one is a productive activity. So they need to use it in writing a story, for example. If it is writing a story, they will be given a picture. So they will need to develop a paragraph or a story, like 2, 3, or until 5 paragraphs. Right. Okay. The methods. I did the research, experimental research with the instrument grammar test and interview guide, 7 meetings, 2 meetings for pre-test and post-test, material, auxiliary verb, adjective, adverb, article, and preposition. And then participants, 70 students, and data analysis test by using statistics, t-test, and then qualitative data analysis by Miles and Haberman. And this is the finding. So the finding shows that the class, which is taught by using the ESDL model, outperformed the class which was taught by using the conventional model of the grammar teaching. So this is the finding for the interview. So you can read them. So that's the response from the some response from the student that I can put it in the slide. There give more response. Actually, there are like 35 of them. I interviewed them one-on-one, so from both classes. So this is the conclusion that coming out. For example, in here they said, I understand grammar more, become more active in the class, and remember the grammar longer in memory. It's mean like even one of them or some of them tell me that when I see a text, now I know this one is noun, and this one is verb, and this one is adjective, just like that. And also help them in another course like paragraph writing. If they know good grammar, so they will be able to write English in a better way. So this is some of the response from the student. And then here also, see the student, the model helps student in other course and also motivate student to learn grammar. Then that one is changing the student opinion on grammar lesson. At first, they think that grammar is such a boring one, like mathematics. So it's like After that, they know, okay, this is quite fun though, learning by this way, by using the story. And I do remember it in a quite long time. At home, I still like, okay, when I see a text, then I know, I can identify this is the noun or example of the other one. And some of them also, I feel that in the classroom, I become more understand about the material. Outside the classroom, I become more, this one is quite interesting, I become more confident if there is anyone ask me question about grammar. Because for other students that are not that are non-major English student, they will tend to ask the English student, right? So what is this, or the meaning of this word, or for example, what is this in grammar? So they said I can answer that confidently now because I understand this, the type of this word and what is the position is in a sentence, I say so. And the conclusion, based temporarily, my conclusion is that using this model is advisable for using in teaching grammar classroom. And then, but this model is not come along just with the model, but there is a student book that I compile, and then workbook that I really designed for the model. And then using short stories or legend apparently motivate the student to learn grammar in the classroom, and that make them more enjoyable because they're video and then also the text, and coming from several regions in Indonesia, they know more about their own culture. This one is still on the process of looking from the interview, looking for the proof. So it's developed the critical thinking, cultural awareness, and language skill. So I think that's it that I can share today. And thank you. Question and suggestion of